Hello students, we will continue with miscellaneous exercise of AOD and today we will do sum number 22 first of all. Sum number 22 is a wire of length 28 meter is to be cut into two pieces. So there is a wire of length 28 meter is to be cut into two pieces, right? So let us assume these two pieces are x meter, and definitely the second part will be 28 minus x meter. And after cutting the wire into two pieces, it is given one of the pieces is to be made into a square and the other into circle. So if from this we will make the circle, and from here if I make the square, right, it means this x meter, if it is making the circle, so this x meter is actually equals to circumference of the circle. So 2 pi r is equal to x meter. Similarly, if 28 minus x meter is making the square, so this is actually equals to perimeter of the square. This is a square only. So it means 4 into side is equals to 28 minus x meter. So here from, if this is the circumference of the circle and this is the perimeter of the square, what is the next statement? What should be the length of the two pieces so that combined area of square and circle is minimum? So we have to find this x meter and 28 minus x meter such that combined area of circle and square is minimum. That means we will find the combined area. So what will be the combined area? Circle's area is pi r square and square's area will be side square. That means in order to find the area of circle, we need the value of r, and in order to find the area of square, we need the value of side. So from here, that it is given that x meter is equals to 2 pi r, the value of r will be x upon 2 pi. Similarly, if 28 minus x meter is equals to 4 into side, so we can easily take out the value of side of the square. So this will be equals to pi. The value of r will become x upon 2 pi whole square, and side is given 28 minus x upon 4 square. So if this combined area, if we represent by a, now this a is the complete formula or complete function of x only. So it means a, if we simplify, 1 pi will get cancelled, and here we are getting 1 upon 4 pi x square, and here we will get 1 by 16 into 28 minus x square. So let us differentiate this function with respect to x, y for the critical point. Okay, 1 by 4 pi will remain as such. Derivative of x square is 2x. Similarly, 1 by 16 is constant. When we differentiate this, power will come in front, reduce the power into derivative, right? So it will be x upon 2 pi minus 28 minus x by 8. So this is our dA upon dx. Now in order to find the critical point, this dA by dx, it should be equal to 0. So when we equate this derivative to 0, what we are getting here, it will be x upon 2 pi is equals to 28 minus x upon 8, right? So when we convert it, we will get here 4x upon pi is equals to 28 minus x. That means 4x will be equals to 28 pi minus pi x. So x will be 4 plus pi is equals to 28 pi. So from here what we are getting, the value of x will be 28 pi upon 4 plus x. It means this is our critical point, that is the value of x. Now the next thing is we will find the second order derivative. Second order derivative means I will differentiate the first order derivative once again. So the first order derivative was x upon 2 pi minus 28 minus x by 8. Let us differentiate. So here the derivative will be 1 by 2 pi minus 1 by 8 as such, and here 28 minus x, the derivative will be 1 minus 1, right? So this is equals to 1 by 2 pi plus 1 by 8. Definitely both the terms are positive, so the sum will be greater than 0 only. So it implies x is equals to 28 pi upon 4 plus pi. Sorry, this will be pi only. 4 upon pi is the point of minima. Now, if one side or one length of the wire is 28 pi upon 4 plus pi, therefore second piece of wire, what was that? 28 minus x. So if we calculate that, 28 minus 28 pi upon 4 plus pi, so this will become equals to 112 upon 4 plus pi, because 28 pi minus 28 pi will get cancelled. So the two lengths are 28 pi upon 4 plus pi, and the second will be 112 upon 4 plus pi, definitely meters, right? So this will be our sum number 22, and I hope you can do it now. It is very simple sum. Now one more sum we will do here. So let us do one or two more sums of the same exercise. This was sum number 22. Now we will do sum number, let us do sum number 23. Sum number 23 is, it's very important sum here, that prove that the volume of largest cone that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius r. So first of all, we have a sphere, and inside the sphere we have the cone. So cone is largest, that means you have to make the biggest cone that you can make inside the sphere. So this is sphere, and inside we have the cone of radius r, right? So if this is the cone ABC, and if I take the base of the cone, the radius is r, right? And if this is the center of the, definitely here we have circle only, actually it is a sphere. So this radius of the cone sphere is given capital R. That means this OC is also the radius of the sphere. This will also be capital R. And if I join here, let it be D point, because this is O. So here I cannot take it as O. Let it be D point. So first of all, this will be the figure. And we have to prove that the volume of the largest cone is 8 by 27 of the volume of sphere. So we need two volumes here. Let us write down first of all volume of the cone. Volume of cone formula is 1 by 3 pi r square h. And what is the volume of sphere formula? Volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now here the radius of sphere is capital R, so here we will write down capital R cube. These are the two formulas, and the sum says we have to show that the volume of cone is 8 by 27 times volume of the sphere. That means if I write down here what we have to prove, so we need to prove that volume of cone, that is 1 by 3 pi r square h, is 8 by 27 times volume of sphere, and the volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. That means it should come equals to 8 by 27 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this relation we are supposed to make, and it is given that volume of the largest cone, that means this volume is to be maximized, right? This volume is to be maximized, and when we maximize the volume of the cone, after that we should get this relation. I hope the statement is clear, that we have to show that the volume of cone is 8 by 27 times volume of the sphere. So the dimensions of cone, small r and small h, these two dimensions should get converted into capital R. Otherwise pi is constant, 8, 27, 4, 1 by 3, all these are constants only. They will come somehow. But these two variables we have to write down in terms of capital R. Now, this small h is the height of cone, and height of cone is now AO plus OD. So this h, that is height of cone, is actually here AO plus OD. AO is given, it is capital R. If this OD, I assume let it be x. So the height of cone will become R plus x. Okay. So height we have written in terms of capital R, and x is some value, right? And we have the relationship between small r and capital R also. Why I am saying? Because we have to convert these dimensions into capital R. So R, and x. So from here the value of r square can be written as capital R square minus x square by this right angle triangle ODC. I hope these two values are clear. Now we will start with volume of cone. What is the volume of cone? It is 1 by 3 pi r square h. So V will be written as 1 by 3 pi is constant. The value of r square we are writing capital R square minus x square, and the value of h is r plus x, right? The formula has get converted into capital R and small x. Capital R we need, capital R we have to keep. That means this is the variable with respect to which we will differentiate. So dv upon dx we will do, and 1 by 3 pi is constant, and here over the product of these two terms we will apply the product rule. R square is constant we are taking, so r square derivative will be 0 only, and x square, because it is given that the sphere is there of radius capital R, so that is fixed, and the derivative here will be minus 2x into capital R plus x plus r square minus x square we will keep as such, into derivative of x is 1. Okay, so what we are getting, 1 by 3 pi, it will be minus 2 capital R x minus 2x square plus r square minus x square. So 1 by 3 pi, we are getting here capital R square minus 2rx minus 3x square. If I take this r, capital R square, as constant because it is given to us, so we are getting some kind of quadratic here in terms of x. So now what we will do, in order to find the critical point, we will equate the derivative to 0. So we will write down here for critical point dv by dx equal to 0. Definitely 1 by 3 can't be 0, it means r square minus 2rx minus 3x square is equal to 0. And if we split the middle term, it will be minus 3rx plus rx minus 3x square equals to 0. And if I take r common here, it will be r minus 3x plus x common, then r minus 3x equal to 0. So we are getting r plus x and r minus 3x equal to 0. This r can't be equal to minus x. Why? So this is rejected, Reason being, r is the radius of the sphere and it can't be negative. It means the value of r is 3x, or I can say x is equals to r upon 3. This will be our critical point, CP. Now, after finding the critical point, the same we will find the second order derivative of the volume with respect to x only. So, the first order derivative was 1 by 3 pi. This is our first order derivative. So, when I differentiate 1 by 3 pi is constant, here it is 0. Minus 2rx derivative will become minus 2r and here minus 6x. So, 1 by 3 pi is constant. This is 0 minus 2r minus 6 x. That means it is negative minus 1 by 3 pi, and here we have 2r plus 6x. What is the value of x? R by 3. So this is minus 1 by 3 pi 2r plus r by 3. When we do, it will become 2r. Okay, so we are getting again negative. So if the volume second order derivative is getting negative, what does it mean? It means x is equals to r by 3 is the point of maxima according to second order derivative test. If x is equals to r by 3 is the point of maxima, so let us substitute the value of x in the volume. Now, what was the volume that we converted in terms of complete r? So if I mark it as 1, so this value of x we will substitute here in this volume, because the complete volume we have written in terms of capital R and small x, right? So we will put x is equals to r by 3 in 1. So the volume will be 1 by 3 pi. Here we have r square minus x square. So x square means r square by 9, and the second term is r plus x. So r plus r by 3. So this is 1 by 3 pi. 9r square minus, it will be 8r square by 9 into, this will be 4r by 3. Okay, now 8 into 4 and this 9 into 3. Remember what we have to prove, that 8 by 27 times volume of the sphere. R square into r is r cube. So it can be written as then this 8 upon 27, if I write down as such, 8 by 27, what is left? 4, 1 3 in the denominator, 4 by 3, 1 pi is left and r cube. So it is coming 8 by 27, 4 by 3 pi r cube, and this 4 by 3 pi r cube is volume of the sphere. So we have proved that volume of the cone is coming equals to 8 by 27 times volume of the sphere when the cone is largest cone, that is when the volume of the cone is maximum, and we made the relationship between capital R, small r, and the height as capital R plus x. I hope the sum is clear. It is important sum, so I want everyone to do this sum systematically. Don't miss the steps, because these are important sums and each and every step is important, right? So the next that we will do one more sum now. So your exercise you people will be able to complete, and the sum that we will do now is sum number, let us do 25, because 25 if we do, you will understand the sum number 26 also. Sum number 25 is, show that the semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume. So once again we have the cone only, and it is not inscribed with inside anything. It is only a cone of largest given the maximum volume. So if I take the base radius cap r, so this will become the height, right? And definitely this will be the slant height of the cone. And the question says, show that the right circular cone of least curved surface area. Okay, curved surface area sum number 25 we are doing. Show that the semi-vertical angle of the cone of maximum volume and slant height is. So here given is slant height. Okay, given is slant height L, that means it is constant, it is fixed because this thing is given. And the semi-vertical angle, what will be the semi-vertical angle? The angle which the altitude of the cone is making with the slant height. If I assume, let it be alpha angle. So if alpha is the angle, semi-vertical angle, right, we have to prove that alpha is equals to tan inverse root 2. This we have to prove, right? So let us understand the statement. Slant height is given, the volume of the cone to be maximized, and when we maximize the volume, we should get semi-vertical angle alpha as tan inverse root 2. Now what is the volume of the cone? Volume of the cone is given by 1 by 3 pi r square h only. Okay, and r and h, now two variables are there. Slant height L is given to us, it is fixed. So if it is given, we are supposed to use. As also we have to bring this alpha inside our calculations, only then I will get alpha equals to tan inverse root 2, right? So if this is the slant, this is the height of or altitude of the cone, so this is making right angle triangle. If I mark it as A, B and C and let it be D, then this ADC is right angle triangle, semi-vertical angle is alpha. So I can say that per height upon hypotenuse will be equals to sine alpha. So from here or from the figure, or I can say in the triangle ADC, what we are getting here, r upon L will be equals to sine alpha. That means the value of r is L sine alpha also. And what is the other relationship? If this is the hypotenuse, height and base, that means r upon h will be equals to tan alpha. And we want to prove that semi-vertical angle is tan inverse. That means if I prove r upon h as root 2, then I will get tan alpha is equals to root 2. So alpha will become automatically tan inverse root 2. So ultimately what we will prove here, we will make the relationship between r and h, that r upon h is root 2 or r is equal to root 2h. So this is what we will do here. So we have to make the relationship between r and h, and slant height is given here. Both are the variables, so we have to convert one variable in terms of the second so that we can differentiate. And we can do here, L square will be equals to r square plus h square. So volume can be written as 1 by 3 pi. R square can be written as L square minus h square into h. From where? Because L square is equals to r square plus h square. Let us write down. L is constant, h is the height. So we will differentiate, that means the volume with respect to height. So it is 1 by 3 pi, and when I take this, it will further become equal to 1 by 3 pi L square h minus h cube. So 1 by 3 pi, let us differentiate, it will be L square minus 3h square. And for the critical point, what we will do? For the critical point, we will equate the derivative to 0. 1 by 3 pi can't be 0, that means L square minus 3h square is equal to 0. So L square is equals to 3h square. That means h is actually equals to L upon root 3, because L is constant. So we will take out the critical point, h will be equals to L by root 3, or h square is equals to L square upon 3. This is our critical point. After finding the critical point, what is the next step? We will find the second order derivative. So when we differentiate this, again L square is constant, so here it will become 0. Minus 3h square derivative will be minus 6h. So d2v upon dx square. Now d2v upon dh square, 1 by 3 pi is constant, and here it will become minus 6h, that is negative minus 1 by 3 pi, and the value of h is L by root 3. Since L is the length slant height, it can't be negative, it will be positive. All other values are positive, so this is negative. So it means, therefore, h is equals to L by root 3 is point of maxima. Okay, and if this is the point of maxima, so let us find, or let us substitute, because we have to just find the relationship between h and r. Therefore we have L square is equals to r square plus h square, and there we calculated that r square is equals to L square minus h square. So let us substitute the value of h square, or we need the value relationship between r and h. So let us substitute the value of L square. What will be the value of L square? It will be 3h square minus h square, because we have here L square is equals to 3h square. So r square is coming equals to 2h square. That means r upon h will be equals to root 2. And what is r upon h? It is tan alpha root 2. So alpha will be equals to tan inverse root 2. Right? This is what we were supposed to prove, that the semi-vertical angle of this largest cone is tan inverse root 2 when the slant height is given. Likewise, you people can do sum number 26. There semi-vertical angle has to be proved sine inverse 1 by 3, and it is against right circular cone only. That means you will be making the relationship between r and L. So r upon L, if you prove it equals to 1 by 3, so sine inverse will be equals to alpha will be sine inverse 1 by 3, right? And their surface area is given, volume you have to maximize. I hope you people can do. With this, your exercise 6.5 will be completed. Thank you, students.